Why did I become a mortgage broker? Let's jump into it. Hey guys, Justin Picker back with a video. Grab a coffee, a Coke, a box of tissues, whatever you want. Basically, when I finished university, came out into the world, didn't really know what I was doing, studied a university degree and did public relations. Came out and realized that the dollars weren't that great and there's got to be more to life in terms of helping people. I really liked helping people. I'm obviously a bit of a dealsman myself, obviously love a deal and stuff like that. So I did a bit of research into property and there wasn't really too much information on the internet as I was going through. In my journeys, researching a lot, working, and I was saving a fair bit as well after coming out. You know, just living with my in-laws pretty much rent free, didn't really have any expenses and was like, oh, do I go buy a car? And I was like, no, maybe I'll buy a property. Having a bit of a look around, doing research, seeing a bit of stuff online, changing that mindset in, looking at Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which probably most people talk about all the time, but rather than buying shit that isn't going to go up in value and buying depreciating assets, I wanted to really kind of go, okay, well, this is a wealth base. I've been at uni, I'm 23 now. I've come out into the big bad world. I've got nothing. Where am I going to start from? That's when I started looking into property and finance, learning about leverage, learning about all the different types of properties and markets and things around Australia, and then obviously kind of embarked on that journey there as well. And that's where myself and Eddie had kind of crossed paths. He was a pretty avid investor himself in the early days. We kind of struck up a friendship, even though completely different worlds and backgrounds. We had a pretty good connection there and something that we learned a lot from each other. I learned a bucket load from him. He didn't learn too much from me. This guy was really onto something. We obviously kept in touch and I bought a few properties at that time and kind of understood the finance process and things like that. But when I was going through the finance process, I just felt like people thought I was a bit of an idiot or they didn't really understand this kind of strategy, or kind of focusing more on bigger loans and didn't really give a shit about what I was trying to do. I kind of thought, well, I kind of feel like I understand this policy a little bit better than some of these other bankers and brokers that I was dealing with. So I went, maybe I'll have a bit of a look into this. And something whilst I was working full time, I learned how to study it and obviously got the certifications and things that we need. I was working on some of my properties myself, also some of Eddie's as well. And obviously the Deline Property Buyers Agency had kicked off, and something that I was lucky to be a part of in that instance as well. So essentially since day dot, I've been here with Eddie, obviously assisting on the finance front. And really the common goal of why I do this is I want to make sure that Australians are building their wealth and they're obviously not getting screwed over by the banks and having incorrect structures in place. And all too often you'd see scenarios where things were set up incorrectly, they were cross-securitized, they weren't on the right products and things like that. And it's pretty amazing that as a broker, you wear up to 30, 40 different hats as banks to try and facilitate the deal and make sure it works for them, and actually making a real difference in people's lives. So, starting from when people have, their first property, they had 30 grand savings, they bought something for 150 grand, now it's worth, 300, that property's doubled and it's allowed them to kind of move forward into the next steps in their life. Or, people who bought 2 properties with Eddie, now they've gone up, 200 grand each, there's 400,000, they've used that to go and buy, and use that as a deposit to go buy a place in Sydney or South Coast, Central Coast. All of these things probably wouldn't have been possible if they started small and gone from there. And having to save, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, especially in today's market, is absolutely crazy. So it's really humbling to see how many clients we've got. Like, it's in the thousands now, which is huge. And obviously a lot of that has been off the back of Eddie, but we have a lot of other clients that we deal with, a lot of owner occupied, a lot of guarantor loans, again, people who didn't realise that they had this ability to do so, buying stuff for 500, now it's worth 800,000, they've got their owner occupied place, now they can pull money out and renovate and make it even better and make their own little castles, and forge their own paths. And everyone's financial goal is going to be different in the long run, but as I said, if we can kind of be here at the pavement of this and start and build from the ground up, that's really what we're here for. So that was something that I envisioned when I started. I was like, oh wow, we actually are helping people and things like that. And as you're learning along the way, you have the approvals, you get a few declines, you learn from all the different banks and changes in scenarios. And when rates gone to 2% and we've gone through COVID and then the fixed rate mortgage cliff and all this stuff, there's always going to be, changing markets, negative and positive connotations out there. And it's a real privilege to actually be, in this space. And being able to kind of relay that information to you guys and help you build wealth over time. So, really for any loan that I've done, I'll only do it if it makes sense. If it's too risky for me, that's not my type of cup of tea. I want to make sure that what you're investing in is going to be benefiting you and actually help you in the long run. And I'll still stick to those morals until this day, and obviously my whole business as well. And so now we're up to 10 staff members within Picker Financial, which has also been massive. And again, with that same message that we're really here to help anyone in any scenario move forward and build wealth, and also provide as much service and advice that we can and helping people to ensure they've got everything ready to go and that they're not getting screwed over or they're on the right track of where they need to be. 2 words I really live by is synergy and leverage. So synergy, you've got to work with others that are aligned with you If you want the riskiest loans, don't work with me. Our synergy's not going to be there. But if you are starting out, if you've got some equity, if you want to go ahead, you want to look at building a business, all these type of things, you need the bank's money. This is stuff we can assist in, also building a portfolio as well. This is the stuff we can assist with. And also leverage, right? Like, I'm not expecting any client to know all the 35, 40 different banks that we deal with, their policy inside and out. And also, having the right team around you. So, if you want to use Eddie as a buyer's agent, you're not going to know all the markets that he is. You're not going to know all the deals and stuff that he's done. So that's why you use someone like him. Same with finance products. You come to us because we've got the leverage that you will need, and you need leverage. You need the bank's money in order for you to build your wealth as well through property. So leverage is there. You definitely can't be the jack of all trades. Better to be, try and perfect one of these crafts and have the right team around you. So you've got 3, 4, 5, 6 people that perfect in this certain strategy, which you then use as your leverage to move forward. So synergy and leverage are the two biggest things there. And hopefully with the clients that we've dealt with, you've all had a great experience, and keep coming back for more and more properties and continually growing is so humbling for us, but also for any other clients as well. I hope that, or any potential people looking at this video, I hope this gives you an overview of what we do day in, day out, and hopefully that resonates with you. If it does, give us a bell. More than happy to have a chat, and I hope that we can work together soon, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.